Hello everybody. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome back to another art project. Again, if you're new, let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Paul. I'm a visual artist, I'm a sculptor and a painter, and I've been teaching for quite some time. I've been an artist all my life and I've been teaching for quite some time. So welcome here if you're rejoining us, or we are, brand new here, okay? Before we get started, let's talk about the materials that you're going to need to use today. This is a basic materials. I try to do things really simple with simple tools because not everybody has a lot of art supplies at home, right? All you need is paper, white paper. You can use like copy paper or drawing paper. It doesn't make a difference. A pencil, maybe a pencil sharpener, a pencil eraser. You might want to get markers, colored markers. Would like for you to have maybe some crayons or colored pencils, that kind of a thing. That's the type of materials that you could probably dig up somewhere at your house, okay? So today we're going to do something I think is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you can get into it and have a lot of fun with it. We're going to talk about differences in people. Everybody is different. I mean, when you think of all the billions of people on Earth, there's very few of us that look alike, right? But the cool thing about it, or I think the weird thing about it, is that even though we may look a lot different, we have so much in common, right? So let's get to this. So the first thing that we're going to do is I want you to work what I call horizontally. When your paper is like sideways, that's called horizontal. And when you got it standing up like that, it's called vertical. So what we're going to do today is I'd like everybody to work horizontally. If you've noticed the picture over here, and this is what I mean by being silly, this is something you do not have to do this like this at all. I do want two different faces there. I would like for you to draw in bubble letters or block letters. Everyone's different. And then what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up drawing two completely different looking people, right? So if one has, little tiny ears, maybe the other one we're going to have really big ears, right? If one is white, the other can be black or brown. So kind of keep that in mind while we're going through this conversation right now. I just got to thinking the other day, because of the stuff that I'm seeing on the news and everything. Some of it's, kind of scary, and, there's a lot of people out there who are trying to tell us that if you're different, there's something wrong with you and that you need to change. And I tell you what, if you feel like you're different from everybody else, then own it. Grab a hold on it. That makes you unique, right? That makes you special in a certain way. I had a young girl come up to me the other day, a friend of a friend's daughter, and she said that I'm asking her, well, how's the virtual learning? And she goes, well, it's been okay, but because I've been on the computer a lot, I've been, going to my social networking and stuff, and I've been bullied online because I'm so different looking. And I'm going, you're not different looking. I mean, okay, you got brilliant red hair, and you wear big glasses, and you're tall for your age, but you're not different in my book. And it just started me thinking about how sometimes not just young kids, but adults too, can be so mean if you look a little different. But the cool thing about this, again, is that I think that there's more that we have in common than we do that makes us different. Yeah, different in looks, right? But looks is only, you know, just one thing. It's skin deep. What we really are is who we are in our head, in our brain, and in our hearts. You know, that's who we really are. So, you know, I know that another situation that came up not too long ago was I saw this, I was coming out of Penn Square, and there was this really big, kind of weird looking guy that looked like he was following me, right? And I kept looking back, and he was like, you know, I'm not very tall, so this guy looked like he was 9 foot tall. He probably wasn't 9 foot tall, but it kind of made me a little paranoid because he was getting real close to me. And then he passed me, and he was singing this that song about, oh, I can't remember what it was called, but it was about being happy. He was just had a big smile on his face, and he was smiling. He wasn't looking at me at all to do me any kind of harm, if you know what I mean. And it's just like the first glance, I went, uh-oh, he's bigger, I don't know him, what have you. And it kind of made me feel a little paranoid. And then when he walked by me, he was, you know, he just came off as being such a really, really nice guy. And that's what I mean by what you look like is only one thing that makes you different. Most of the things that make you different are right up in here and right in here. And so I kind of want you to think about this when we're doing this project today. Again, I want you to, I tried to make my characters as different as I possibly could, you know. And so that's kind of what I want you to do. Again, this is my interpretation. You can make these any way that you want. You could draw a picture of yourself and then somebody that looks completely different. I mean completely different. That's the goal of our art project today. So what I suggest you do is write your lettering in first. And again, if you don't want to do the big letters, that's fine. Just make it very readable and clear so we know what's going on in this thing. And so we can begin. I'm going to start doing my letters, because I can do them pretty quickly. Oh, just to know, before before I continue on with the project, I just want to say that for those of you who have been watching me, have you noticed that my hair's gotten really, really long? Well, it is going to be coming off. I'm going to get a haircut. Even though my wife doesn't want me to get it cut, I'm going to get a haircut, but I'm going to get it after my last COVID shot. So maybe the next time you see me, I'll have real short hair. Anyway, no big deal. I just thought I'd throw that in. The young girl that I saw the other day, she's been doing the art projects on that we have here, and she mentioned it because she knows me that I keep my hair real short. She goes, "God, your hair's getting really long." So I just thought I'd let that out, that if it's weirding you out and I look different, I'll be back. Okay. So anyway, every one ones different. How many of you out there believe that you're really different from everybody? How many of you believe that you don't fit in, right? Everybody around you, for some reason, you just feel like you don't fit in very well. People aren't drawn to you because you think that you're real different. I just want to let you know that I was that way when I was in school. You know, I wasn't the jock, you know, the football player. I wasn't really into a lot of sports. I was into art. I was skinny and little and had big ears and a big nose. And anyway, I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel like all the other people I went to school, it looked like that they were having a much better life than I was, right? And until I got a little older, I realized that after I met those people as adults, I mean the kids that I used to go to school with, after I met them in school, out of school, you know, like 5 or 6 years later, it was kind of interesting because they felt the same way. You know, I was going, man, you were so this and so that, you just, you know, you were real popular and everything, and you know, I just didn't feel like I belonged. And I can't tell you how many people, as adults, said, well, that's funny because I felt the same way. So a lot of it has to do with your age, but that'll change. As you get older, you're going to realize, you know, I'm not that much different looking than everybody else in the world. Hey, some of you may be a lot more beautiful than others, you know, I get that. But I tell you what, as I said before, the physical looks is only one small part of who you are. It's what's in your mind and what's in your heart that truly makes you who you are. So I think that's a good lesson to learn. And if you could learn that when you're young, it may save you a lot of grief, you know, doubting yourself. Oh, I'm ugly, or I'm too short, or, you know, I'm too skinny, or those kinds of things. First of all, everybody goes through those things. Listen to me. Every human being on earth, especially when you get to be in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, you kind of start doubting yourself and you start going, you know, why is he this way, or why is she this way and I don't have that, or I sure wish I had, you know, stronger arms, or I wish you know, we all do that. And as you grow older, you get to understand in a lot of ways that once again, that's just part of who we are. You're so much more than what you look like. So I've got my everyone's different already down. I don't know where you are at that, but one more time, we're going to use, again, colored pencils or crayons. I hope you have something like that, or markers. I would suggest, if you want to, you don't have to, if you have like a thin marker, you can go ahead and outline everything, just to kind of like what I did here. I just kind of outlined everything so you can see things a little bit better. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we are going to finish up, or try to finish up, our silly, different faces, right? And make them go for it. Make them silly looking, right? This isn't necessarily, we may talk about kind of serious things that you need to know, but this project is all about silly. If you want to draw a clown on one side and a gopher on the other side, go for it, right? Just so long as that they're really, really different. So I hope you return in just a little bit to finish up this project, or at least get the more information about what we're talking about. So, you know, stay tuned for part 2 of this project. Everyone's different.